Hello everybody and welcome. In today's video we are going to be discussing some upgrades that I will be doing to my PC today. As I am slowly starting to run out of room, I've got drives all mixed together. I've been watching some videos and I think I know what route I want to take in between my video gaming, saving files for my personal life, my business, and as well as the videos that I'm creating. I've come to terms with the fact that just having a couple SSDs just isn't working. The way I prioritize my SSDs isn't working either. So we'll get into all that. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. Do you ever wonder how a polar bear catches fish? With his bare hands. Alright, so what I've decided to do is add two more M.2 SSD drives to my PC. Currently, I have two M.2 drives in my PC. That's a mouthful. But anyways, what I've got going on right now is I've got a Western Digital Gaming 850X 1 terabyte drive that I'm running all my programs, my operating system, and currently I've got all my games on, and I've got several games. I've only got about 120 gigs left before that drive's full. I have a second drive. My second drive is also a Western Digital. It's a 770 drive, 1 terabyte, so it's a little bit slower. I prioritize this drive when I set it up to do my editing, and I use DaVinci Resolve. So to do my editing in DaVinci Resolve, so I save everything from all my cameras, everything that I'm going to use for everything gets saved on that drive currently. So one of the problems I'm having is I'm finding out that drive isn't really overly fast compared to what I could and should be using. The way I've got my drive priority set up too, it's not really maximizing things. So what we're going to do today is we are first going to leave the primary drive with my operating system alone. I thought about this, I debated this, I thought about swapping it, cloning it, and you know what, I think honestly what we're going to do is priority is going to be there's 4 drives. So in drive position 1 we're going to use the 1 terabyte 850X, and I'm going to take all the games off that. I'm going to take anything that isn't a program or the operating system itself off that. That's all that drive is going to run, is the operating system, and any programs like DaVinci Resolve will be on there and various other programs. So that'll keep the drive size way down, which should keep the speeds up, keep the heat out of it, so we're not multitasking out of one drive. So drive position 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move, the way I've got it now is very confusing. I'm using drive position 1 and drive position 4. Drive position 4 is lower than, you'll see in a bit, is lower than my video card, so it was just easy to access. So today I'm going to be moving the one in position 4, which is the 770, up to position 2, because that drive is going to become just a cache drive as well as long-term personal storage drive. So I'm not going to use that one very much. It's not going to generate very much heat. I'm not worried about it. I'm not putting a heat sink on it. It currently does not have a heat sink on it. The one in my primary drive position, I have the MSI X670 Pro, so it has actually a Gen 5 bay, and I've just got a Gen 4 in there right now, that X, or that 850X Western Digital. Anyways, so what we did is okay, well, let's just talk about this for a second. So what we've done is I've upgraded. I've got a drive that I'm going to put in just for gaming, and we're going to hammer out some long hardcore games on that. So what we got going on is this here. So what this is a 40 mil fan. Woo, 40 mil fan. You're thinking that's about 2 inches. What the hell are you going to do with that? Well, the only reason I bought this fan is because I bought from Amazon this cooler. So it's a New Hale aluminum alloy heatsink. So I'm going to unbox both of these just in a second here. But so what this basically is it's similar to an air cooler for your CPU and your PC, except for this one's for an M.2 SSD. So it's a little crazy. It's a radiator and a little fan mounts on this one. I found other ones where it was just the 2-tube radiators. This one's a 3-tube radiator with copper piping. So it's pretty extreme. It's supposed to lower your SSD by up to 20 degrees. So what I'm going to do is this one's going to be my gaming drive. It's going to have to go in position 4, so it'll fit underneath my graphics card. I'll show you in a minute. We'll get into that. So what we're going to do here is one of these at a time. So again, there's so much glare with my lighting. I don't know if you can see this, but what we're going to do is we're going to do some Smash unboxing today again here. You ready, guys? So what we got here is this little guy here. So, oh, there we go. So as you can see, there's a little fan. We've got some piping there. I'm going to show these all up close after, but as you can see, there's little screws. Oh, it keeps focusing on my face. Stop doing that. There's little screws right here and here. This opens up, and it actually comes with some thermal pads. You put one on top and one below your SSD, and you sandwich it in between these two plates, screw it back together, then it should actually mount onto that correct position. So the cool thing is this should actually significantly lower the heat, so we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to do much testing. This isn't really scientific reviews. This is just the fan that came on this thing. This is kind of just like a made in China off of Amazon thing, and honestly, this fan kind of concerns me, putting it in like this PC that I've probably put, I don't know, about $4,500 into just building the tower. So yeah, what we did is we've decided to upgrade the fan before we even install this. So if you want to do this same thing, I would maybe recommend you doing the same thing. So, oh, by the way, this unit here was about $18 on Amazon. And this unit here, which is the fan, we'll get into the unboxing of this here so you can see what it is. So what we got here is this is the upgraded fan. It only comes in two-tone brown, which it's going to be hidden so you're not going to see it. It comes with a variety of different connectors here so that you could connect it in different ways. I don't need it. It comes set up as a 4-pin. I'm just going to use that. It's got these cool rubber pull mounts that you pull through and then you cut. I won't be able to use that in my application. I'm going to have to use the screws because these holes in this shroud do not go straight through the radiator, so I'm not going to be doing that. So we will basically just be using the fan, and we're going to install it with the existing screws off the other fan. This one did come with screws, so if the existing screws aren't right or something goes wrong, we've at least got another option. Again, this video is not really about this. I'm not going to get into all the crap. I'm not going to get into the details. What I'm going to get into is, if you want to see the difference, so the new one is a 7-blade and this one is a 9-blade. And the blades are tiny. They have a really almost 90-degree pitch profile, whereas this one's got a softer profile. This one's going to make better wind with less noise, is basically essentially what it's going to do. And it's probably not going to burn my computer down because it's actually a name brand component. So what we're going to do now is the drive, the SSD M.2 drive that we're going to install to run DaVinci Resolve, to do our video editing, to do anything like that, is going to be the Seagate's FireCuda 530. So this drive is much faster. From what I come to understand and the research that I've done, I think this is up to 3 times faster than that 770, the Western Digital. Now I know the Western Digital is rated at about, I think it's rated at close to 5,000 megabytes a second. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think it actually performs as well. It's just like the 850 in the 1 terabyte. It's rated at 7,000, but apparently it only really performs closer to the 5,000 range. So I don't want to be having that. I have been noticing some issues when I'm editing. Plus, I haven't been using a cache drive because I didn't have an available drive. So what that does is just take some of the pressure off the system and allows some of the regular use cache files to be on a different drive. So you're actually using 3 different drives to run DaVinci Resolve in this manner. The operating system would be on one drive. You would have DaVinci Resolve running on the operating system. Everything, like all of your computer program, or sorry, everything, all of your footage, all of your media and everything is going to be on this drive, and this drive is where you're going to store all your finished materials. So then you'll have my third drive will be my cache drive, which will be in position 2 to make it nice and confusing for everybody. And that's just going to keep some of the simple things. It's going to make this whole thing work a lot better and run a lot faster. Me caveman, it'd make faster. Anyways, let's unbox this bad boy so we can take a look. So this one actually, I better put my feet on my insulative materials. So again, if you're going to start working on your computer and you're in a carpeted area or something, I would strongly suggest you take your socks off, grab some magazines or something, a rubber or like a plastic mat, and put it underneath your feet. Otherwise, you could create static electricity and you could fry stuff in your motherboard. So keep that in mind. That's why this comes in this bag. This is a electrostatic protected bag. So this is the M.2 drive, the Seagate FireCuda 530, which is really awesome. So we will see how awesome when we edit this video. So the last drive that I bought, which is going to be my gaming drive, which is going to be like my hard workhorse, because when I game, I have a 7900 XTX in this PC, and this thing like billows out heat when I'm going hardcore. So what we're going to put in there is the Western Digital. So this is the Western Digital. This is a 2 terabyte drive, M.2 SSD. This is the WD Black Edition, Gaming Edition 850X. So this thing is rated at the same speed as the Seagate, but like I say, I don't think it potentially goes as fast. The total terabytes written on this thing is pretty decent, but like the Seagate's way better. The Seagate would honestly make a better operating system drive as well, from my understanding, but they're honestly, how much did it cost? It cost me close to $140 for a 1 terabyte Seagate, and these were on sale. This 2 terabyte was on sale for $160 for the Western Digital 850X. So it was too much money to go the other route, is basically what I'm saying. And this is like overly good for the gaming drive for what we need. So I guess what we'll do is unbox this. So what we got here is the Western Digital drive. So we will be installing this into the PC too. I'm not going to get too into script with that. So I've already showed you the other coolers. I also grabbed a couple of extra coolers. 2 of these drives are going to be behind my GPU, or my graphics card, and I don't think there's a lot of room. One of them, I don't care, my long-term storage, I'm not going to put any cooling system on, but I bought these from the computer store. These are SSD cooling fins that attach, and one's a low profile and one's a normal profile. So when we get the computer laid down, I'm going to try and figure out which one will fit underneath, because we're going to have to pull the graphics card out of this, hopefully just the graphics card, and get at the M.2 drives. I'm going to take the one that's in position 4, my 770 drive, we're going to move it to position 2, and then in position 3 I'm going to put my Fire-Cuda drive, and in position 4 we're going to put the 2 terabyte Western Digital 850X drive. Hopefully you guys like watching content like this, but if not, you know what, we're practicing, we're getting better. I think we're making major improvements, but this is a good opportunity to let me know what you think in the comments below. Are we kind of getting into material you're getting into? I know you're eager to get to the getaways, I know you're eager to get to the giveaways. The giveaway videos are getting all the views. I'm just trying to get some filler in the meanwhile. My wife and family gets back from vacation tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot more time once I've got some help around here with the day-to-day, and I'm going to try and get to this giveaways. They're obviously, guys, going to have to start kind of small. I'm not going to be giving away crazy things because I'm not monetized. I have no source of income off of any of these videos yet, and that's what I'm working towards, and that's what I will be using for primarily the giveaways. But for now, I'm going to be just taking stuff out of money out of my own accord and purchasing things to give away, maybe things that we review. I got some great ideas. I think we're going to start with maybe getting some merch made up, do like some merch giveaways fairly regular, and then give like cool giveaways in increments as we can kind of afford them. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, part 2 of today's video is going to be getting this shit all put in here. Okay guys, so I don't know if you can see this, hopefully you can, but in here is the Gen 5 drive plate. So this is where we've got the 1 terabyte 850X Western Digital, and we're going to leave that alone. So if we move that, we've got to clone the drive, and we do not want to get into that. So what we got to systematically do here is remove this video card here, and it should be relatively easy. And my light just died. Sweet. So we are going to start trying to take the video card out. I'm not going to show you all steps of this, but I've got a bracket here. This is like a support. I'm going to have to take this off first. This card's so heavy, I don't know if I really need it, but I put this support bracket on. I'm going to reinstall it again. I just feel like it's good insurance. So now I'm going to take these little power clips off of here. The 7900 XTX actually runs off of 3 of these, so if you end up buying a 7900 XTX, make sure your power supply has enough of these powers, or else you will not get enough power to your video card. Then it's not going to run well. Okay, well, now for the nerve-wracking part, if I can get the clip. I don't know if you can see it down here, but there's a little, this is a PCIe 3 port here,
and there's just a little tab, and when you push the card in, the little tab pushes in and clicks, right? So you kind of got to do this in reverse. Oh, I can see it right there. Okay. Ah. Something's messing with me here. There we go. Whew. So there is the big, beautiful 7900 XTX by MSI, a beast. Okay, so what we've got going on here is, you can see there is this one. This is my Gen 5 drive. This is the heatsink that's on it that came with the motherboard. It's a big beefy heatsink. I'm going to leave it alone. We're not touching that today. What we're going to do is move this 770 that's right here, and we're going to move it up to this slot right here, and then we're going to install the 530 in slot 3, and then we're going to install the gaming one in slot 4. So without further ado, let us try and have at this then, my friends. You just kind of pull it out gently. Now you're going to have to rotate this, and then you just push it in. You want to keep it out as in like away on this side, and push it in on an angle, and then you want to just push it straight in. And if you're lined up correctly, you should be able to just turn this little plastic tab here, just like that, and then that's locked in there. That drive is installed properly. Alright, so what we got here, everybody, is we got ready to install. I think my microphone might not have worked on that last one, so I'm an idiot, but that's okay. So let's install this drive. So again, this is the FireCuda 530. You want to put this in on an angle. Okay, so there we go. That drive's locked in. Alright, let's try that again. So you're definitely going to want some patience if you're installing this thing here. A little bit of patience is going to go a little ways to make this a little bit easier. Oh my god, this is freaking annoyingly hard to get in here. Well, there it is. And then what we need to do is plug in the system fan. There we go, that should be out of the way so that we can get our massive video cards shoved back in this tiny little hole here. We can have a little bit of luck here. Oh, that thing looks ridiculous in there, but that's okay. Ridiculously cool. So now what we got to do is, this was kind of tricky before, plugging this thing back in, getting all these things lined up just correctly to get them to go back together. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's all plugged back in and looking relatively like it was. Now we got to put this bracket back in here. Holy macaroni, I think I'm almost done here. Alright guys, so what we got going on here is, this is after the drives are installed. I'm not going to show you the steps that it takes, because there is a few different ways to do it, and a couple of the ways didn't work for me, so they may work for you. So that's a different video from someone who's more educated in this field. What I'm doing is just simply showing you that this is all working now. So if you go in your main menu area here and you click on your operating system or program, your C drive generally. I've renamed all of them because I just find it easier to keep track of things when they're renamed. I thought that was surfing for footage, sorry. So what I've done is just brought one of them up. If you click on your C drive and you go into properties, and then in the properties tab, if you go into the hardware tab under properties, even if after you install these, once you haven't initialized anything, they'll still show up in here. What you can do then is click on any drive in the hardware tab, and then you can go on to properties for it, and then you can check out events, and this will show you that it's been configured and that the device was started. And there'll be details in here, drivers, so you can, I don't know if you can update drivers here. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Just a quick one. Just wanted to show you guys the upgrade and show you how to remove your video card and put it back in and get it all hopefully working. Well, fingers crossed. We still got to post that, but it's getting late, so we're going to do that tomorrow. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's video.
we'll get all right, that's enough goofing off. Some thermal pads that you put one on top, one on top. Don't know if I'm going to do much testing. This isn't really scientific reviews. This is just me kind of jerking off, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Whoa, that sounded bad. Me kind of jerking around. Sorry. And you hopefully enjoying it. Bloopers. So all right, everybody. So here's what we're going on. Okay, so here's what you got going on.